Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be a bit different. I know I said that I pre-recorded all of my intros, but I'm doing this video even though I did not plan on doing it, and I'm filming the intro without my tooth in because I did want to get this video out to you guys. So if you see a missing tooth, that's because it is missing. A trend that kind of cropped up at the end of last year, kind of really heavy at the beginning of this year, is the Douyin/Latina makeup. And I feel like I've done Douyin very heavily, and I've done the Latina makeup style before, but somebody wanted to merge it together. A lot of people are saying that it looks like Thai makeup, which I can do also later on, just a Thai makeup tutorial. But for now, we're going to try to blend the two styles together. So on either side of me are kind of the inspo photos that I have for this look. I have the Latina and the Douyin makeup because I'm not really sure what specific photos I want to draw from. Obviously it would be easier just to find two photos and then use that to recreate the look. But I kind of want to go deeper and kind of want to get the vibe based off of the looks as opposed to copying one bar for bar. But honestly, that might just happen because I'm not really sure where I'm leaning, the vibe or bar for bar. But either way, I think the look will look pretty cool, so I'm excited to try it out today. So the normal spiel on every channel, make sure you subscribe to my channel and turn on the post notifications so you can be notified when I upload next, as well as there is a playlist that I'm adding a lot of my videos to, but I will link a specific playlist down below, so make sure you go and follow that playlist. I would really appreciate it. Leave me a comment down below letting me know of any other trends you guys want me to try. I do have videos that I have already filmed and edited of looks I want to show you guys, but if there's ever a look that you guys really want to see, just comment down below letting me know and I will definitely try it out. But I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for coming to my channel and watching my videos. You don't know how much this means to me. Let's head to that tutorial. First, I'm going to go into the Abib Heart Leaf Spot Pad Calming Pads. I love using a toner pad. They feel so nice on the skin. I like to use them also to slightly exfoliate the skin. They also help to restore your pH, and they're just a really nice step after you cleanse the skin. And as you can see, they help to cleanse the pores and help get rid of unnecessary gunk in the skin. Then I'm going to go in with the Tier Milk Skin Toner. I love using this toner. It's very refreshing and it helps to lock in moisture on the skin. And it just makes my skin look so glowy when I apply it. For extra hydration, going to go in with both the Parnell Sika Manu 92 serum and the Hamish RX Multivitamin 7% serum. I love applying these on the skin. Again, I have super dry skin, and my goal is to try to lock in as much moisture as I possibly can when I'm doing my skincare routine. And I just like to tap that into the skin. I feel like that helps for better absorption, and it just feels really nice on the skin. And I realized I didn't need to put on an oil because of how good these two serums felt. For my under eye, going into the Haru Haru Wonder Black Rice Bakucho Eye Cream. I kind of messed up the application there, but that doesn't matter. I love putting this around my orbital bone. It just sets the eyes really nicely and just helps retain moisture. And I love the added hydration that it brings. And tapping it into the skin helps for better absorption. Abib's Jericho Rose Cream Nutrition Tube. It is a very lovely moisturizer. I love putting this all over my face. Sometimes you can tap moisturizer in, but I feel like this one is very thick and kind of viscous, so rubbing it very gently into the skin is the best way for application. The final step of my skin prep is the Abib Aries Sun Stick. You use the product and you just apply it all over your skin. It is a really nice roll-on sunscreen. I love using it to prep my skin. I feel like it gives me a little bit of a glow and looks really lovely over all of the rest of the skin prep. OLENS Russian Smoky Lenses in the shade Brown. I love this color. I feel like they look really pretty on, and these are one of my favorite lenses, especially for a really pretty makeup look like this. NYX Micro Brow Pencil in the shade Espresso. I'm going to do my brows first. I'm going to try to find a way to mix the two styles. Latina brow styles is very bold and a larger arch brow, whereas the Douyin brow is very light sometimes and is very straight. So I'm going to do a kind of straight arch brow and make it pretty bold, but I'm not going to go too dark on the color so it still has that light airy touch that the Douyin brow usually has. Milani Weekend Brow, also in Espresso. The sun had decided to make a cameo and I was not happy about the lighting change. I'm going to use this product to fill in my tail slightly, darken it up and define it. I feel like with this, the tails of the brows are very dark on either style, so this just helps add more definition and make the arch look more defined. Elf's Medium Peach and Milani's Warm Tan. First going in with Medium Peach, and I'm going to use that to carve out the bottom part of my brow. Carving the brows is very essential to the Latina makeup styles, especially because a really nice sharp brow is very indicative of the style. And if it's a little pale, that's also okay. I don't want the line at the top of the brow to be too stark, so I'm going to go in with Warm Tan there. It's like perfectly my skin color, but it's still serving the purpose of carving out the brow without looking too stark or too pale, and it'll blend into my foundation very nicely. And I have not used a blending sponge in such a long time. I'm going to use a really damp Squoze Out blending sponge just to nicely blend that onto the lid and help diffuse some of that harshness. And then when I go to the top part of the brow, I'm going to blend that in between the two. I'm going to blend that in between my brows and just kind of buff that into my forehead. Elf's Camo Color Corrector in the shade Orange. I'm going to use that to just cancel out a lot of my discoloration around my face, any dark spot, any acne scars. I love taking this over there because it just helps it to blend out better when I apply foundation. Blending that out with a triangle puff, it just buffs into my skin really nicely, and it picks up excess products so it doesn't leave that much product residue on my face after I blend it, and it covers a really nice surface area, and so when I'm applying foundation, it's just like a nice thin layer of color corrector on the skin. NYX Bear With Me spray as a really nice layer of primer. I didn't want to use a heavy duty primer, and I didn't need to prime before I color corrected in this instance, but I really just wanted to go in with a little bit of primer just to prep the rest of the products. SheGlam's Complexion Pro Foundation in Caramel and the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter in Medium Tan as my foundations. I'm going to go through and mix the two together so I can get kind of the best attributes of both products. The matte full coverageness of the SheGlam and the kind of glowy base of the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter. You want this application to be very thick and very flawless because the Latina makeup style is very heavy foundation and it is very matte. And this foundation mix is very full coverage. However, I do see a little bit of that glow underneath the skin, and I feel like meshing the two together just kind of have a better outlook at portraying both of the looks in earnest. Milani Conceal Imperfect in Cool Sand. I'm going to use that to conceal and kind of cancel out any other discoloration that could be peeking through. And then I'm going to go in with another triangle puff, and I'm going to perfectly blend that into the foundation. I think the shade match is like damn near perfect, and it just perfectly blends into the skin and kind of disappears. e.l.f. Camo Concealer in Rich Cocoa to contour. Then I'm going to go through and do the perimeter of my face and put that product on there, and it's just like a really nice mix between the two contour styles. For the nose, I'm kind of leaning heavier into Douyin around my orbital bone, but I have seen some Latina makeup where they do the really cute button nose, so I don't think that's too far off. BK Beauty 101 brush to buff out the perimeter of my face and just kind of perfectly blend that contour into my hairline and then around the rest of my face. It blends it out pretty perfectly, and I don't take very long to blend out this contour, and I think it just looks really nice and like flawless and chiseled when I use this brush to blend out my contour. Also go in with that same brush to blend out the contour around my lips. Then going in with the flat side of a double-sided brush, I'm going to use that to blend out the nose contour. A lot of patting and circular motion does a really good job at helping to blend that into the foundation. And because the brush is pretty dense, even though it is small, it makes really light work of the blending process, and I feel like the nose contour just looks really nice and kind of like perfectly placed on the skin. e.l.f. Camo Concealers in Tan Sand in Medium Peach. Going to put Tan Sand all on the base layer of my highlighting. I love to put this under the eye, on my nose, just to highlight that area as well. And then I'm going to go and separate the nose contour on my forehead, on my upper lip, and my chin. And then going in with a lighter shade to highlight the center of my face just to help that area look a little brighter and really pop. A beauty blender to go in and blend out the concealer on my face. A lot of tapping circular motion does a really good job at helping to just blend it kind of perfectly into that foundation shade. And the tip of the Beauty Blender helps me be more precise with my blending. BK Beauty A506 brush to blend down the center of my nose. It is slightly more precise than the Beauty Blender, especially because I contoured and I'm just trying to make sure that I only go over exactly what I want on my nose contour. Then using the same brush to blend out my under eye, a lot of patting circular motions does a really good job at just blending that into the contour shade in the foundation. I want to keep my eye very nice and lifted, and blending it down into the front of my cheeks just helps it kind of maintain the Latina feel. Then going back in with that Beauty Blender just to smooth out any lines that could happen because of the brush. I didn't see that many lines, but I just wanted to be as smooth as possible. I think in my head I was like, I am wearing so much makeup, Jesus. YSL Make Me Blush in the shade Nude Lovelies. I am going to put this on all of the normal places I put blush, on my cheeks, on my nose, my forehead, and my chin. I chose this shade because I think if I did like any darker or any brighter, it would have taken away from the like Latina side of the makeup look, especially because there's not a lot of blush worn in Latina makeup. So I felt that if I use a nudie blush, it would kind of work with the makeup look better. Then taking a triangle puff, I'm going to just pat that in to blend it out. It doesn't take very long to blend and it just kind of like perfectly melts into the skin. And that's exactly what I was going for with this shade. Then going into the Juvia's Place bronze palette in the shade Tan, taking the darker shade on an angled Morphe brush. I'm going to use that to add some definition to the hollows of my cheekbones and my jawline. This is where the Latina side of the sort of duo comes into effect, especially because the way that they contour their face is so distinctive. So I'm really trying my best to sort of like hone in on that technique. Another aspect of the Latina makeup that is very missing in Douyin is a nice bronzy look. So I'm just going to take the lighter shade and just do a wash of bronze all over my skin. Using the other side of that double-sided brush, the fluffy side, I'm going to use that to do my nose contour. It's very precise and pretty dense, so I feel like it just gives me a really nice wash of color, and it does a really good job at helping to define my nose. YSL All Hours Hyper Finish in the shade Translucent to set my face. I'm going to use a triangle puff, and I'm using this as like a base layer to set my face because I am going to be baking today. It's the first time I've baked in a long time. I just love putting this all over the face. It just sets it really nicely. Anastasia Beverly Hills setting powder in Banana. I love using a beauty blender to apply that, and I want a really flawless smooth base, so I'm going to put this all over my face. Like when you bake, you want there to be white powder all over your face, and you're just gonna leave that on. I'm gonna brush it off later, so right now I'm just applying that powder on everywhere. I'm gonna add some extra highlight, and I think just need some extra smoothing and like baking time. PLouise Wedding Wish palette for the eyes. Go into the shade Ring on it, and I'm going to put that in my crease, really smoke that out. The part of this that is more Latina inspired is that usually in Latina makeup they use very neutral shades, so I'm going to try to stay in the neutral family. I'm also going to put that on the inner corner because with the Douyin aspect I am going to be doing a bit of a cut crease, and you kind of concentrate that on the outer V as well as the inner portion of your eye. Next, going into Forever Yours, going to concentrate that shade on the inner portion of my eye as well as that outer V. It's going to be kind of pinky without being too pink because I'm putting it over that brown shade. Hashtag WIFEY, concentrating that on my lower lash line to sort of wrap the eye for the Eggio style to give it a more Douyin effect, and then I'm going to use that in my outer V to just darken up that smoky eye. PLouise Base Pro in Rumor 2.5. I am going to use that to cut my crease, and it's nice to go in with a lighter shade to cut the crease. It just makes it stand out more. And then I'm just going to go in with a triangle puff, and I'm going to use that to just get rid of some of that excess color. Then I'm going to go into the shade Endless Love. I'm going to put that all over my lid. It is a neutral shade, but it has a little bit of a pinky vibe to it, which I feel like will help blend the two styles together. And keeping with the Douyin effect, I'm going to use this to highlight my lower lash line to make the Eggio style pop. Taking Commitment on my finger, I'm going to put that at the center of my lid between where I put that highlight in the contour in a very signature Douyin effect. Flower Nose Butterfly Cloud Color Collection eyeliner in black. To me, this wing kind of makes or breaks the makeup look, especially because the balance between the two styles is going to be so hard to emulate. Douyin typically does very thin, very winged eyeliner, whereas in the Latina style, it is thick and bold. So I'm going to just mix the two together. When lining my lid, I'm just going to keep it very thin, and the wing that I do, I'm going to make that girl pointy and bold. Then going into the brown version of that eyeliner, I'm going to use this on my lower lash line to extend it out in the Douyin effect, and I'm trying to be more subtle with it because I don't want it to be too bold, so I'm staying pretty close to my natural lower lash line. Then I'm going to go in and do some lower lash line strokes just because that is a very big signature of Douyin makeup. Alicia Tap Me Duo in Pitter Pat. Going to go in with this pinky glitter shade with this angled brush, and I'm going to use that to highlight along the inner portion of that cut crease to add some glitter and shine. Then using some on my finger, I'm going to just put that slightly on my lid and some on my inner corner and lower lash line just to add to that glittery effect. BBIA Lash Auto Gel Eyeliner in Angel. I'm going to use that to highlight my inner corner just to add some color, and on my brow bone to make that area pop. e.l.f. No Bud Shadow Stick in Perfect Pearl. I'm going to use that to highlight my waterline, as both styles really like to highlight the waterline. The Shadow Lash Curler to curl my lashes. I'm going to try to keep clamping them to make them as wide as open as I can, and it really helps to prep them for mascara. Milani Anti-Gravity Highly Rated Mascaras in black and brown. First, using the black mascara on my upper lashes. I love going in with this. They make my eyelashes look really wide and open, and it really has a really opening effect to the eye. Then I'm going to go in with the brown mascara on my lower lashes to help open up the eye more, and again, just to have that continuity between the brown mascara and the brown liner. These lashes are clustered, but they're also wispy, so it's like a pretty good mix between the two. I'm going to apply some lash glue on them, and I like to hold them with my tweezers. And when I apply them to the inner corner, I'm not going in as far as my actual inner corner. I'm leaving a little space there just so I can flare out the edges and make them look really nice and wispy to the point where they kind of like meld into the winged eyeliner. Using this Real Techniques powdered brush, I'm going to use that to brush out all of the bakes that I set, and my skin just looks really matte, and I feel like any line that I could have had on my skin has been completely filled with this process. Then I'm going to go in with some of Endless Love on a small eyeshadow brush, and I'm going to use that to highlight around my nose and just to add more definition, and this kind of like makes the nose pop a little more. And also taking this along my Cupid's bow to make that stand out as well. Kaleidos Mono Blush in the shade Sanguine. I'm going to take that over everywhere I put that cream blush, and I'm going to use a very light hand because I don't want it to be too heavy. Like, I want a really nice flush of pink, but I don't want it to be too dramatic. Hourglass Ambient Strobe Lighting Powder in Euphoric Strobe Light. I'm going to take this on all of the high points of my face. I love using this color. It has a really nice like goldy tint to it. It works really well with my skin color, and I feel like it's a really nice look for both of the makeup styles. To set the rest of the face, going in with more NYX Bear With Me spray. Just going to get a really nice spritz all over my skin, and it's just going to make my skin look a little bit better. Charlotte Tilbury Lip Liner Pillow Talk Intense 3 to line my lips. I am going to go for a really flat upper lip, and I want the sides of my mouth to be really nice and pointy. Most of the lip is going to be Latina makeup inspired, but I'm going to try to add in some Douyin elements, and I'm going to make sure I really overline my lower lip. Rude Cosmetics Honey Glazed Lip Shine in Cinnamon Twist. I'm going to concentrate this color just on the center of my lid and use my finger to blend that in. I feel like this is kind of like a My Lips with Butter, which is very Latina makeup inspired, and I'm going to use that to add some color to the lip. Going back into that lip liner to just add some more emphasis and kind of make it a little more brownie. Basic Cream de la Rose Lip Tint in Crimson. I'm going to concentrate that on the center of my lips, on my upper and my lower, and I'm going to use my finger just to blend that in. Romance Lasting Water Gloss in Meteor Track. I'm going to use that to just top off this lip look. I love a glossy look. Douyin lips are really pretty when they're glossy, so I feel like this would be a really nice final touch. I can't think of anything else I would like to add to this look. It feels really complete, so I'm going to change and I'll be right back. This is going to be the final look. This turned out so much better than I expected. I think it looks really pretty and I am genuinely so in love with the eyeshadow. The base was pretty flawless as well, and the lip, chef's kiss. Leave me a comment down below letting me know what you think of this look. And this is a trend that over on Instagram, the people in my community asked me to recreate, so here I am recreating it. So let me know if there is a makeup look or a trend that you also want me to recreate as well. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel and turn on the post notifications so you can be notified when I upload next. And make sure you add the playlist that this video is in to your library so you can just watch all of my videos from that playlist. All of the products that I use are going to be linked down below, so you can go down there if you want to use any of the products that I use. I really hope you guys enjoyed this makeup look again, and remember, all of my social media is also linked down below, so if there's another platform you want to follow me on, everything is linked down below. I love you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed this makeup challenge or creation. It was a lot of fun to try to fuse the two looks together. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye!